All right, it's a big day. These little ones got just budded last night, and it's time to start integrating every back in with other does, learning who mom is, in preparations for these guys to all go back out on the field together. No, I have not taken my oldest ones out onto the field yet, but in my defense, the weather has been so not good for it. Like, this is not fun. I don't enjoy this. Baby goats don't enjoy this. My girls are almost refusing to come out to the water troughs. I've been bucketing water into them. So, I mean, nobody wants to be out in this. Like, I'm a full-grown adult and I have all the abilities to bundle up as thick as possible. Still don't want to be in this, so I'm not putting the baby goats out in this either. We got 15 inches of snow, then we got another 4 inches on top of that, and we've had a few days where we've had some meltage, but for the most part, it's still very snow covered, and it's cramped because a lot of the goats are being kept indoors because it is literally just too cold. They don't want to go out. My big girls in the main field are just kind of hanging out in the barn all the time. So this is just the best way I can kind of get them out and let them start. Hi, Chill. So I can get them out and start getting them integrated so that they're ready and they all kind of know one another. They're acquainted prior to going back into the pen with all the adults. So that's what's going on back here. Everybody's just kind of coming out and saying hello, exploring, getting that exercise. I'll probably, I threw down some I threw down some hay flakes for them, but I will probably also get some grain and just throw it down for extra energy, but also it's just good for kids to see other does eating food too, so they don't think like, mom just wants me to eat my broccoli, which they usually end up really enjoying grain. Like these two girls love their grain and they're growing really, really well. So. And everything you're hearing back here is these babies that have been in here for over a week that are finally getting out, and they're like, there are other goats. I don't remember what my mom looks like. So they're just, it's like going into a convenience store and be like, Mom. But it's also good because then babies realize like not every doe wants to feed you, and you really probably should just feed from your mom, because this is when other goat members of the herd help to, govern and tell them like, this is what it is to be a goat, and you respect this, and when I tell you to stay away from me, like I really mean it, or you don't need to be stealing. Oh, sorry, one just ran into the gate, like got really excited and ran straight into the gate. But it's just good for them for socializing. It serves a lot of purposes, and it's really cute to see. But this is really, really good for them. So I'm gonna get them some grain real fast and put it down for these guys while I have a chance, and it's exciting just to get them all kind of moving in the right direction. What, May? What, May? Y'all, I just had the biggest freaking rat just run past me in here. I have known that I have a rat problem, but I have never seen one, and it was freaking huge. I gotta work on that problem, because that is not, will not be handling no rat problems while we're in here. Oh my gosh, it ran in there. It ran between it ran back in here. Like, right along that wall. Oh my God. And you know what, like that runs all the way into my feed room, basically. Oh, nasty things. Outside of rats, today we're making our girls come outside just a little bit so they get used to remembering there's water right there. I'm sick of bucketing water in Rex. Being a good boy, being a good feller. Sorry for the wind, guys. But I am actually trying to get my herd to come out and eat more. And only some of them are venturing, whereas like others are like, forget this, we are going in. We're not doing this, it's too cold. See that? The cat is like right in the wall, like where the rat went. The rat was on the other side of that wall. Like, we put up plywood between the wall and the post for our kidding stalls, and it ran behind that. So the cat knows that it's there. But y'all, no joke, like that was a big freaking rat. I wish I was still filming when that happened, but we've been talking about this problem for a while, and I do have rat traps set. I will not poison. I just won't, because the dogs, the cats, the wildlife. I don't really like coyotes all that much, but I would never wish like a poison death on anything. Even the rat itself, as much as I really dislike the rat. So we actually got these skunk traps because they are tubular. They're really long. They have to go way in there, and it's like completely enclosed. So the rat will feel very, very comfortable going in. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. If we catch a rat, I'm not relocating, because then it just makes it somebody else's problem. Animals have territories that they respect, that they have knowledge of food and water sources. If I relocated a rat, I might as well just kill the rats. Okay, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about a little situation that I have. So to preface, when we decide to breed does, like this one who's really loud in here, I always, sorry guys for the lighting, I always try to make sure that I am weighing them and that they are between 35 to 40 pounds at least and wide enough to have kids. Which I do have like a caliper that I put from thurl to thurl to make sure they're like anywhere from like 4 to 4.5 inches wide, which is usually good. So I made the choice to breed little Miss Posy a little while ago. And I really like Posy, guys. She's a super sweet girl. Really love the way that she looks. She did really good in all of her shows. She only went to like 2, but she's got a reserve grand champion and an ADJ sanctioned show. But today I have her in here because I noticed that I had bred her about a month and a half ago, and I didn't think she was getting much bigger. Like a lot of my, hello, and she's a Marchborn. For those of you that might ask, she is a Marchborn, so she is a younger kid. Bred her about a month and a half ago because she met the criteria. She is wide enough, and she was sitting like right at like 38 pounds. And my other yearling does that will be yearling milkers this year when they kid, was watching, and they're growing and growing, like they're right on track. But I was just watching Posy because I didn't feel like Posy was right on track. I felt like Posy had stunted and all of a sudden like stalled out, which is not uncommon. Sometimes you just get it to where like the weather sets in and they're fighting for food. They do come in every day for their own little food. And Miss Posy is a piggy. But I noticed that she just didn't seem like she was thriving. And then I started worrying because she was bred. So I put her on the scale, and she actually weighed less than when I originally bred her. I don't know if there was something wrong with my scales or what. She's wide enough, but then it just made me worry for her. So at a month and a half, she's still early enough in her pregnancy that I could give her Lutalice. Now, Lutalice is an injection you can give does to make them either go into labor or abort a pregnancy. I chose, for her safety, to go ahead and administer Lutalice about 45 to 55 days into her pregnancy to have her abort her pregnancy, because I started worrying like it might become unsafe for her if she doesn't keep on the correct trajectory growth-wise for a doe her age. And today she is actively miscarrying. So I put her in here because I have a livestock guardian dog, and I noticed he was paying a bit of attention to her because she had fluids and things were starting to come away. And as much as I know he's doing his job to remove any smells that could draw predators to his girls, I didn't want him licking or over cleaning or harassing her and causing her stress because of what she's experiencing. But you can have really good breeding protocols and they look fine at the moment, but it's so important to just keep monitoring your animals, because sometimes they have things like this where there's just a setback, or maybe the scale was wrong. I don't know. And she's very loud and upset to be in here away. So I am probably going to open up and let the little kids out with her, or let my new doe hang out with her for a little while. Other than that, it's just, you got to make sure you're monitoring. You're making my thought process with how loud you are being. You're being so loud. I can't think. I can't think. It's like having little kids around you all the time, because sometimes they get so loud, you're like, I cannot hear myself think. But even though I made a decision, like, we've been monitoring her and she's not on the right trajectory, so we're going to do what's best for her and make sure that she is safe and healthy, and that she can go on to carry babies later, because at this point I just don't think she was growing in that same trajectory that would have been safe for her to deliver kids on her own. I just think it's important not to get kind of stuck in a decision and say, because I made a decision, I have to stick through with it to the end, when it could potentially not be great for your livestock. I mean, owning livestock can be a very humbling, like, pride can definitely take a prominent role when your herd's doing well, your livestock's doing really, really well, but pride can also be a terrible hindrance when it comes to management. Okay, we are experiencing an Arctic vortex. It is so much fun to have babies and milking in the wintertime. I know what our winters are like here, but it always seems to go away in my memory when I'm putting does in with bucks and they're in heat. I'm thinking about milk in the wintertime, fresh raw milk, to supply for soaps, lotions, my family, other families, whatever pet consumption has to happen, all of the good things. And then it happens and I realize, like, it's really effing cold out here and it's really cold. But I did want to kind of catch you guys up with some things that are going on now. So we did ultrasounds not too long ago on Aurora and Twerk. These are the two does that I thought probably miscarried pretty close to one another. And it's been a few weeks. They're looking good. They are recycling. And I've got all of them in with Stifler. And you'll notice our new girl is in here. She's past her time of being in seclusion and quarantine. And she was in heat this morning. So I went ahead and threw them all in here with Stifler to be bred for June babies. And something new that I'm fighting this year are mites in the wintertime in Arctic like temperatures. Mites make the hair fall out on your goats. They get itchy and they just make their skin kind of dry and they crack. So Stifler's been getting ivermectin treatments. He's been getting injections. This will be a second injection today to treat these mites. So ivermectin injectable helps to treat mites. He's getting sulfur dips with new stock on his legs at any areas that are have lost hair. And I'm also going to be giving an ivermectin injection to my new girl because her owner said, oh, she's missing hair around her eyes and her ears like goats normally get in the winter. And I was like, they don't normally get that in the winter. It's a deficiency or they've got mites. So she's been caught up on her minerals. She got a multi-min injection. Multi-min injections are given sub-Q underneath the skin, and it just kind of gives them all the minerals that they need, but you have to be very, very careful with it because you can overdose and hurt your goat that way. So that's only under veterinarian guidance that I would do that. And to be very, very careful with how much you're giving them. You don't want to overdose that stuff. You want to make sure you're giving them probably maybe even a little less just to make sure they're getting started in the direction they need. And we've started minerals and things like that for her, but she's also starting to be integrated in. And that's why I took advantage of these other two does that are open to go ahead and put her in with them so she can start her friend group. So she can start a group of does that she's familiar with and that she's not fighting with when she goes in with the rest of the herd. It is extremely cold out here today though, guys. Like, I feel bad for all my animals. I do have the barn door open in the back so that they can come and go as they please. There's hay out in the back, but tonight we will be shutting that down because it's supposed to get even colder tonight, but we're supposed to come out of it starting tomorrow afternoon. This is day 2 of 3 of this. Watering animals is difficult and water is super important. So these guys have got hay stuff, just pretty much anywhere that I can think to put hay to keep their rumens going, and they're getting fresh waters, and they at least get warm water once, sometimes twice a day right now, so that they have long enough to actually drink without it freezing. So that's also going to help keep their bodies working properly in the way that they should. So we're just focusing on keeping everybody fed, warm, and healthy. And boy, this year is it just proving to be a lot with how with some of these different issues that I'm fighting this year. I've never had mites in my herd, never. I don't know if it came in on perhaps straw, it came in on something else, or it's just one of those years where your goats are stressed enough where they finally do start to experience different things that they don't normally experience. And mites has been one of those things that we've never experienced and that we are experiencing this year. So I do have ivermectin injectable. I've been taking proper precautions, making sure that we are getting minerals into our lads and ladies to make sure that they are healthy and spry, because I've invested too much in my livestock to let them really suffer. I'm also going to be trying MTG for to accelerate some hair growth. So I haven't gotten it yet, but we will be getting it soon. But oh God, it's cold. I just wanted to give you guys an update. And heat lamps are back on for the little lads and gals when moms aren't in there, just for Gwen and Skid's babies. Avi and Rapunzel's babies are now, they're 7 weeks old. Yeah, they're 7 weeks. They're quickly approaching weaning time, which the does I'll be leaving on Avi. She can raise them and they can help me keep her in milk. But Rapunzel's buckling is already sold, so he will go to a 4-H home to perform, to be a 4-H project. But oh gosh, it's cold. I can't wait to go inside. That's what we got going on here in Indiana in this subarctic vortex.